Greetings, and more greetings, and welcome to the Positive Terror. I'm your hostess, Lesego, and today I'm going to be talking about the moon once again. Alright, because I love the moon so much, right? And guess what? This time I am not only talking about the moon, but I am using the Moonology Oracle deck to talk about the moon, right? This was the first Oracle deck that I got, and the second set of deck of cards that I got after I got my original Rider-Waite Tarot. I don't know if you can hear, but it is raining outside. It is thundering outside, but it's like I love the rain, and the thunder actually. More lightning. I actually love lightning. But hey, so back to the moon. I took out 3 cards and I was very, very excited to get the cards that not only aligned with, what I love about the moon, but these cards also align with the Positive Tarot, which is all about positivity, moving forward, and, building yourself up. Building yourself up on your journey to success. Okay, so the 3 cards that came out was the gibbous moon, which is you're very close to achieving your goal. The new moon in Taurus, which is prosperity lies ahead, as well as the blue moon, which states that, believe in the impossible. They're also lovely, right? So getting right into it. You're very close to achieving your goal. One of the things that I love about the moon is that it has different phases. There's a new moon and there's a full moon, and it is always there. It is always present. Therefore, when you use the moon to manifest, or when you use the moon to set goals or set intentions, it is a very good time setter. A timekeeper. I'm going to be, in a different video, be talking about the SMART principles to achieving goals, right? And one of them is having a goal that is time-bound, right? And the M stands for measurable, actually. Can you measure the progress? What can you measure? So the moon is a natural measurement of time and progress and movement forward, right? So when you set your goal on a new moon and you see the passage of time, the moon can help you actually to remember your goals, right? So when there is no moon, it is complete blackness, right? And then you progress towards your goal, right? This actually goes hand in hand with the second card, of which it is, prosperity lies ahead, the new moon in Taurus, which talks about prosperity. Oh my gosh! All right, so even when you see nothing, even when there is no light, even when it is completely dark, you can rest assured that by the next 2 weeks, the moon will be halfway. By the next 4 weeks, the moon will be full again, you see. And after 28 days, the moon will be new again. But even at times when you see nothing, it is complete blackness. That is when it is the most prominent reminder that prosperity lies ahead. Even when times are dark, there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel, and not only just a little bit of light. Yes, in the beginning there will just be a little bit of light, but moving on back rather to the gibbous moon, this reminds us that you are very close to achieving your goal, right? So now I'm going to move to the third card, of which it is the blue moon. Once again, it reminds us to believe in the impossible. The moon, as moony as it is, as much as it is just the moon, we can see it sometimes in different colors. Sometimes there's a red moon. I think it is I believe it is called the strawberry moon, right? But now we're talking about the blue moon, right? Believe in the impossible, right? And if you look at the surroundings of the card, going back to the gibbous moon, you can see the trees. The moon is captured from beneath, right? Whereby you can see the trees progressing up. Whereas when you look at the blue moon, you are now standing above the trees. If a tree is a challenge, you can go through your challenges, but the moon reminds us that you are close enough. You are making progress. If you have not realized your goal by the end of 2 weeks, you can rest assured that you are closer than you were 2 weeks ago, right? And the moon reminds us, especially once again, going back to prosperity lies ahead, of which it is a completely black moon, it is a dark moon. It reminds us that just as the moon is once dark, there is going to come a time where it is not only fully illuminated, it can be illuminated in its own color, in its own way, right? So this one, it shows us that your dreams and your goals, they can come about in a very unique way. We can all want to be singers, but our journeys to get there can be different. We can all want to be singers, but one might end up singing on stages like internationally. One might sing for the church. One might sing for children, at a preschool. Depending on what you want and who you want to do it for and what message that you want to spread or give to the world through your music, right? It can also be just beyond music. It can be anything. I just happen to love music. I'm just out here talking about things that I love, because why would I want to talk about things that I don't like? That takes away from me instead of adding to me, okay? So that is my attitude with regards to everything. I talk about the moon because I love the moon. And it is so interesting that the moon is surrounded by trees. Trees are usually in one place. It is always there. It is always consistent. You can always count on the moon regardless of how many times it can change its phases. Also, you can count on yourself. Why do I talk about the self now? I read somewhere, in a book, that when you are on the moon, you can also see the earth, through different phases depending on the time of the month as well. Which reminds us that the moon, as much as we are learning all of these things that we are learning about the moon and about its phases, even we ourselves go through different phases. Even planet Earth itself goes through different phases. And when you are on the moon, now it's as if the Earth itself is the moon, right? So depending on which perspective you are looking, it's all about perspective. I mentioned in my initial moon video, please check it out, that the moon has different phases. When on the southern hemisphere it is full, somebody is experiencing a new moon somewhere else on the northern hemisphere, right? Depending on which hemisphere you're in also, right? So we ourselves are also a reflection of our environment. We are a reflection of the light that we are exposed to. However, just as the moon we can only see one side of the moon from one perspective, even us, there are certain aspects of us that shine in different situations, in different contexts, but there are even parts that are hidden from us, even to ourselves, and also hidden from others, you see. So the moon just reminds me of the depth of everything in life, even ourselves, you see. So I love the trees, and I even love the animal. There's only one animal that came out here, right, which is the cow. You see, a cow has been described in some spaces and places as being stubborn, but a different way of saying stubborn is steady, steadfast, standing your ground, you see, being grounded, You see, so the moon can help us to ground ourselves, to be grounded, right? So the moon reminds us that we are close to achieving our goals, right? Which is a form of being grounded, because it is reminding you of the progress that you are in your journey, how far you go, right? And we ourselves go through different cycles, just as the moon, right? And even the cycle of life as a whole. We have a life cycle ourselves. It's not only products and industries that have life cycles. Yes, there's a product life cycle, industry life cycle, business life cycle, even a human life cycle. Even within us, there is a cycle, right? Or within our lives, all right? I'll just give a simple example of school. There's a cycle that one goes through in preschool, in primary school, in secondary school, in high school, in university, right? And then when that cycle is over, we start over again on a different journey, on a different cycle. And it is okay to recreate yourself. You see, nothing is impossible. Believe in the impossible. Even if everything was impossible, believe in it. Because this is probably cliche. Even impossible says, I am possible. So yes, that is what I got from the Moonology card in itself. And look at this cow, guys. Look at this cow out here in the sky. Space cow. It reminds me of that Moo song by Doja Cat. I'm a cow. I'm a cow. I'm not a cat. Yes, I'm a cow. Right? Because prosperity, baby. Prosperity. And it's so interesting that the cow is put here, because the cow is revered in so many cultures as an indication or a token of wealth. And if you go to some cultures, some people, they don't even eat cows because they are holy animals, you see. They are the animals of the gods, right? So also linking with the cow and the connection with the moon from that perspective of holiness, it just shows us the spirituality, you see, of the moon, the spirituality of everything. If I can be a spirit, or I can be spiritual, and I am like the moon, is it not possible that in some ways and in some aspects, the moon is also like me? If I reflect the moon, does it not mean that the moon can also reflect me? So it is spiritual, and it is alive, and it is a being, right? As much as it is surrounded by trees, cows, and living things, right? Maybe humans can't live on the moon, but trust that the moon itself has its own life cycle, its own thing. It is also connected to the earth, to the sun, to the cosmos, it dances not just around the earth, but it is part of this universal dance. And in the book that I read, I found it so beautiful, when it described the earth as being part of a family, of the solar system. We are all a family, even the earth has siblings, right? And wherever the earth goes, the moon goes as well, right? It is there for the earth, and it does work for the earth. And since I am part of the earth, I am an earthly being, the moon is also here for me, right? So it is there for us to recharge, to learn from, to prosper, to remind us that prosperity lies ahead, to remind us to believe in the impossible, to remind us that we are closer than ever to achieving our goal. Right. That is all from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, and use the moon to your advantage. It is there for your use. It is available for you to use. Thank you, and all the best with everything. your goals are not impossible. You're very close to achieving your goal. For the last time, bye.